way to explain my vision board in person, but I have a prior commitment at school, so we're doing it this way. So here I am. I'm in my classroom actually because it's the only way that I could figure out how to project it really big. Ooh, it's bright. So I'll explain it, and hopefully this is not too boring. I'll try to use humor. I wish I had music. So this is my vision board, and I'm just going to kind of explain each one. That's me in the middle. Just giving a thumbs up because these are the things that I prioritize and would like to see and emphasize in my education philosophy. So over in the corner, I have a project that my students are actually doing now, and that just symbolizes project-based learning, which I think is really important. I think each school needs to make how they use it their own, but I think giving kids authentic, real experiences and integrating art into projects is really valuable for student learning. Then I have a little Bloom's taxonomy. I just think it's really important to always think about how and support teachers in developing critical thinking, and a lot of that is by asking kids to, once they do the lower level stuff, evaluate, synthesize, things like that. I think data is really important, so that's why I have that. I think it's key in understanding how our kids are doing. Down here I have actually a picture of my advisory in front of UMBC last year. I think providing students with opportunities to be, first experience things by doing things like going on college tours, but then also making sure they're college and career ready. And I always tell my advisory what I would like is that it's a choice. So if they don't want to go to college, that's fine, but they chose that. It's not because they can't. Then up here I have, hold on, of course, bad timing. Okay, so then up at the top I have, I think success means involving the school, the parent, and children. And then I think a key to a good leader is communication skills, listening, figuring out what each teacher and student and parent needs, and then kind of applying that. Everyone has different needs. Down here I have my students. We went to this, two of my students went to this United State of Women conference a couple years ago. I just think this means, finding authentic experiences for kids to engage, particularly because I'm a government teacher, I think, and policy is important. Again, communication is really important, so I have that there. It's a little Simpsons. I don't know why it's cut off, so I'm gonna back it up. Oh, there you go. And then I'm still learning. I think having like a learning mindset is really important, and creating a culture where everyone is still learning, including myself as a leader, and recognizing that like no one is perfect yet, and that includes using the observation cycle as a growth producing tool, which I think is really important. Up here, it's just another thing about student achievement, the idea that culture is really important, and providing teachers with opportunities to use data to teach, to create a classroom culture, and then teacher leadership. Those are all essential to effectiveness. And that kind of goes back here to this one, which is just all these different ways to provide teachers with leadership opportunities. I think that is really important to helping develop teachers, and then also retaining good teachers. Down here is just something that signals communication and collaboration, which I think are really important. I think that's the way that teachers and schools can grow. And so one of the things that I think is really important is for leaders to figure out how teachers can have collaborative time to plan. I think that's when the best ideas happen. Down here, I think this was like a community schools idea, but I think I really like community schools, but in general, I think providing students with a safe climate and supportive culture, and all the things that they need in the school, especially if you're in a city school like I am, where students might have some needs that students in more affluent districts don't have. I think those schools figuring out how to provide that are important, and so I think a lot about funding and the leader's role in terms of grant writing and fundraising and things like that. And then lastly, I think of the leader's role as being a support to what happens in the classrooms, and supporting students in their achievement. And so back it all up, and that hopefully was not too long, but that's it. Thanks. Bye.